What is that?
Hello, everybody! I know. I came back for 1 week only. Well, I'll be back obviously next week, but
1 week
I just
only.
thought I'd
Make
come
it sound
back.
like you're in a Vegas gig, man. Come on.
I know. I'm like Elvis. I'm the very, very much. You know, and my beard's got longer. I know. I have to bring it up because everybody will like,
you just mean
beard.
Oh, Elvis, you mean Bob Joyce, right?
What do you mean? What's his name? What's that Welsh actor? What's his name? What's that Welsh actor? What's his name? Tom Jones. He's got a beard like
that. No, I'm talking. You talking about Elvis? I'm talking about Bob. Oh, you mean Bob Joyce? Bob that Joyce? Pastor that everybody thinks is actually.
Oh, Elvis that's no Elvis. That's no Elvis. That's just somebody that seems to look like him.
Look like him and sing like him and hangs around Graceland an awful lot. And
did you know Elvis
family functions?
Do you know Elvis had a twin brother that died?
Aye.
What happens if, right? And here's just a conspiracy theory for you all. What happens if he was swapped at birth and the one that died wasn't really his brother, and that is his brother?
Maybe.
You know what I mean? You know, what's that? Papa Joe's Adventures. I like the look. Chris, I say thank you very much. She says, "Oh man, my beard. We can sit and we can play with our beard now. It's getting longer." I would like to say to everybody that watches the show, thank you for all the kind words, because obviously I got one for what's her name, Danny. So thank you very much for that. Thank you, Dakota. Thank you for Rev, Melissa, Dots, everybody. Thank you for all the kind words about my mum. Thank you very much. So, there you go.
Yeah. We're here for you, buddy.
See, I like playing with my beard. You look at my beard. Look, you couldn't make it up. Look, it's grey here and grey there, and like a black stripe. I was just thinking of like a badger's ass now.
You said it, not me.
Oh God, I couldn't help myself. You know, I couldn't help myself. Good to add a wee bit of humour into life, you know. And look, I'm even drinking a Scottish beverage here. I'm drinking dandelion and burdock.
Dandelion and burdock.
Dandelion and burdock.
Really?
You get how you get dandelions, the weed. Dandelions.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually not a weed. You do realise that the flowers are edible, and the root's actually crushed up to make dandelion and burdock.
You know,
and see the leaves. The leaves
cancer-fighting properties too.
That's very true. And the leaves of dandelions. See if you've got like a pet tortoise. They love the leaves.
Oh, they do.
It's not really a weed. It's actually a vegetable. It's actually a vegetable.
Technically, yeah.
I don't know if I get this stuff's got zero sugar in it. Completely zero sugar because I stopped cutting out all that stuff.
I didn't know that was a drink over there. Huh? I learned something today.
You get American cream soda. You get Iron Brew, obviously. Red Cola. You ever had Red Cola?
Of course, I've had Red Cola.
Oh, Red Cola. That's very good.
You get but dandelion and burdock. I never didn't know that was made. I didn't know. I learned something today.
There you go. Your dandelion and burdock. I must say, dandelion and burdock is really good. Hey, there's some new faces in here that I don't recognise. Are these people that you've picked up when you've been doing your shows, Dakota?
I have no clue. We always have a bunch of lurkers.
You know, I have been drinking dandelion root tea every day. This is Rev. Really good for digestives and liver. It is actually really, really good for you because there's a friend. I've got a friend. He's an old doctor, and he actually told he's not a doctor anymore, but he was telling me that they used to drink it in the olden days, and it actually helped with like see infections and stuff like that in urinary tract. And that's no medical advice. If you want to go somewhere, go to your doctor.
Yeah, we gotta. Big flashing red lights saying, "Do not follow. This is not medical advice."
Listen. Go to your doctor first and ask if it's safe. It will be safe. Yeah, okay, Dr. Dakota. There you go. Yeah, I can see you as a doctor. I could see you as a doctor with a white coat and all that kind of stuff.
I'm not that type of doctor.
You know, isn't interesting. What's that? Yeah, you know.
Monsanto helps.
So So, here a question for you: what's the news that's happening around the world to do the UFO subject? It's something that I've no looked into. To be honest with you, I've not really watched any UFO stuff.
Oh,
but I see there's a lot.
Dude, there was I had a weird fucking sighting this week, man.
I hear a lot of people have had weird sightings this week.
Oh, I know. It's just like, all right. Now, those of you who've seen the Telegram, yes, there may be something involved, but we're still kind of trying to figure that one out. But anyway, I was walking out my door, just getting ready to go to work. It was about a little after 7:40 at night. Then I look over towards the sunset, and all of a sudden I see these two lights. All right.
Okay. Weren't they green, were they?
No, they were kind of orangish.
No,
there were these orange lights. There was two lights. I thought, okay, there's a airport right there, little small private airport. Nothing, no big deal. Then all of a sudden it became 4 lights, then 6 lights, all in a row. Then, as I realized, oh shit, I got something. Pulling out my camera, the middle lights go to disappear, and it just phases out like that. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I hear there's been a lot of weird reportings, like no shooting stars, what do you call them, like meteors in the atmosphere. But not just that, they've been green. They've been like lime green coloured, which I find really interesting. What's that? Papa Joe's Adventures. What's that? I see Amazon has Iron Brew. I tried it. I don't know about that. What's that? That dilation, deletion. What? There you go. I'm waiting for an American to read it for me. Can't hear you, Dakota. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, man. What? Bring this up the chat, guys. Oh my God, we've lost Dakota. Oh, it's happening, dudes. It's happening. We're talking about aliens. See, that's what happens when you start talking about the aliens.
The fuck?
That was weird.
But I thought I hit something, and that's I don't know what just caused that.
It's because you're talking about aliens. Because we're talking about the UFO subject.
I know. I'm talking about a legit sighting, and like I said, the second I got my camera out, the thing disappeared on my end. And I've seen those ones about the green. Yeah, I don't know. They say shit's gonna be kicking up. By the way, no, this is not a paid endorsement, but this will probably kick up.
Papa Joe's went to Kent as it's Dandelion and Bird Dog. Scottish version of Coca-Cola.
That's supposed to be Coke, anyway.
Oh, it's good.
Did you see that our dear friend Elena has a new book coming out?
Did she have a new book? Oh, I'll need to buy that one. Do tell.
It sounds like she's putting together. Sounds like she's putting together an encyclopedia series on ET species.
Oh, dear Jesus Christ and all that's holy. That's going to be quite interesting. I mean, what is there? 5 million different species out there?
I think she's going to try to focus on the ones that mostly interact with the Earth. Otherwise, that's going to be a very long series.
I mean, I heard a wild conspiracy theory the other night there, and I've been thinking about it actually quite a lot. It's actually quite interesting. Do you want to hear that? Right, just humour me here. Right, dinosaur bones. Where do you find dinosaur bones mostly?
In the ground, mostly. In mud, amber.
Right. Why has there never been a dinosaur bone found in a city?
Well, I would imagine, I'm just vocalizing here. I would imagine that the urban construction may have accidentally fucked something up and crushed it to where. Okay. Yeah. Right. I'm going to get another in today with the dinosaurs. Why are most dinosaur bones found deep below the surface? Why?
As if they were traveling under the surface. Do you get me? You see where I'm going with this? Right. I was watching a show the other night there, and I find this very interesting. Now, think about it. You've got a city. What was there before the city? Before the city, it was a town. Before the town, it was a village. But before the village, it was a camp. What happens if, right, the dinosaurs were around at the same time as the humans were? Think about it. And because they were intelligent, let's face it, because it's been put out there that the dinosaurs were intelligent. There was some species of them intelligent, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if they stayed away from the human inhabitants? And that's why you never find a dinosaur bone in a city when it's getting built. I think it's interesting because you've heard the theory that dinosaurs. See, a lot of people don't know this, but see how you get the Stonian and all that kind of stuff, the dinosaur bones.
Mm-hmm.
And the museums, a lot of the bones, 99% of the bones aren't the real dinosaur bones. They're man-made.
Very true.
They're man-made. This people don't get. They'll see a Tyrannosaurus Rex standing, they'll be like, oh, that's billions of years old. No, it's no. It's fake, right? So what comes off, right? So, what the hell's that? I've got nothing wrong about me. What was that?
So, someone fucking with the baby monitor.
You sure? They're coming for him.
Hold on. I'm going to go yell at somebody.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Who's in the chat? Louise, welcome. It's good to see you. Lawrence, it's good to see you too. Let me get through the chat because they were talking about the dinosaurs and all that kind of stuff. 1110 people. Reverend, I believe we are in the Cosmos Week. Can you imagine the reaction? See, Elena's book, I've no had a chance yet. I don't know when it's available because Dakota's maybe posted it in the chat. Let me go and click on that. I'm going to go and click on that now. See. Ooh, this looks interesting. Paperback, a hardcover. That's a hard decision, that. I'm going to have to go with the hardcover. What was it, Dakota? Was it the Galactic Federation of Light that came to get you?
No, people yelling at the cats to get out of the baby's playpen through the baby monitor.
I'm looking at Elena's book right now. The paperback, there's no actually that much price difference between the paperback and the hardcover.
Oh,
I mean,
unless I look, I didn't see there was a hardcover option.
I'm allowed to show it. I'm allowed to show it to everybody so as everybody knows what to look for. There you go.
Oh, here, you know what? Here, what we'll do, we'll just go ahead and bring it up on screen share so people can see it clearly.
Yep, I'm just going to put that in my basket now.
I already ordered a copy, so
I've got a couple.
This is not a paid endorsement. Elena's not making us do this. You know, we just have her on the show so much. She's a good friend of ours.
Yeah.
You know, we try to support our people.
Yeah, I'm going to get that book. I'm going to get that book because I want to help Elena out. I want to help support her. It's not. It's only £30 UK pounds.
Yeah, it's already a #1 bestseller. Yeah, because it's Elena, dude.
Yeah, it's. I think that'll be a really good read. I actually got a book. I was talking to Dakota. I've not had a chance to start on it. I've only read one page. It came in the other day. What is it? A Proof of Heaven for a neurological's journey into the afterlife. That I've seen that guy a few times on YouTube talking about how he taken like what's that disease you got? And you had it in the back of his neck. You had it in what is it?
Oh God, what was it? I remember.
Oh come on, it's meningitis. Meningitis. He had meningitis and he went into a coma and they lost him and he went to the afterlife and he spoke with the people and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm really looking forward to actually reading that book. You know, it's not actually a very big book. It's actually quite small, actually, considering some of the Zachariah Sitchin ones that I've had. You ever read the Zachariah Sitchin? Oh my!
I have.
Have you? I've got the box set. I'm in the news at when the world began. You know, when time began or whatever it's called. It's out there. No bother getting it, but it's quite interesting stuff about the Anunnaki and all that kind of stuff, and how they came here and how they tinkered about with the humans. Well, they weren't the humans at that time; they were just
early
tinkered
humans,
about with. Yeah. early humans, you know.
There were some already here when they were messing around. So,
oh, there is a man himself in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. It's Pete, son of the naked Bigfoot. It started raining, like, so I got off the tractor and came in. You know. See?
But speaking of UFOs, this is something I feel, you know, as investigators, this is something we really should probably keep an eye on, because we know there's going to be assholes that use it to try to put fake stuff out there.
Of course they do.
All right. I know we've talked about it a little bit throughout the week, but have you seen the new video AI program being put out by the same people that made ChatGPT?
I haven't. I've not had a chance because the house has been hectic.
Good.
I've not had a chance.
Clueless on this one. It'll give you genuine reaction.
Right. Play it away, ladies and gentlemen.
So the program, they're calling it Sora. And it is scary how good this shit is.
Just gonna mute my mic here.
All right, prompt for this. This is directly from the OpenAI website, the program, the company that runs it. The prompt is: a stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street, glowing neon lights, animated signage. Look at that. That's AI.
Wow. Is that AI?
That's all AI, dude. I mean, here they even got more.
What?
Look at this. This is fucking amazing. If you look carefully, you can see little errors here and there, but this is fucking amazing. This is all AI.
I mean, that's
how real that shit looks, man.
That's scary, actually, how technologies came so far in so little time.
A year, it'd be all pixelated and blocky and looking all weird. I mean, it even has like drone footage. You can even create Pixar animated shit. Look at that.
I mean, it's scary to think what it's got to be like in 5 years from now.
What's it going to be like in a year?
Mind.
My God, this shit is moving so fast. And again, this is all AI footage. Like 2 pirate ships duking it out in the side of a coffee cup.
There you go, Pete. When you're drinking your morning coffee, there could be a couple of galleons fighting away.
I mean, look, you even could create what looks like historical footage. Look at that.
What's that that Pete's put there? What's that? That's quite funny. Have a look. So if you typed in and you go,
yeah, it probably, well, unless they put like a sensor on what you type in as far as the prompts, yeah, it probably would, Pete. All this AI.
I mean that's crazy. I mean, that's just, it makes you wonder about the computer games industry too, because if this is meant to be coming to the new Xbox, it's meant to be coming out soon. So what I've heard.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, so you're telling me that there's no actors involved here. So you're telling me here that there's no actors involved. It's 100% AI generated.
I would imagine that there was probably some actors in whatever footage they got to train the AI. But yeah, I mean, but here, if you look carefully, this is one of those things where you have to really keep an eye out. Like this footage right here. Look carefully towards this spot right here. Ah, fuck. On the stairs. You see that?
I see that there. I do see that.
The people just kind of like melt into the stairs. Now, obviously, especially here in the US, there's a lot of concern about how good a lot of these AI programs are getting. Because people are using them to fake presidential election calls. There's the whole controversy with Taylor Swift. God, never expected to say those words.
I seen that.
Yeah.
Every
single one of this is AI.
What's the robot? Let's see that.
A story of a robot's life in a cyberpunk setting.
Oh my god. I mean, that's got to be coming a reality too soon. I mean, robotics. I mean, robotics are got to be coming in the next couple of months, what I've been told. In the grapevine that soon you'll be able to buy your own robotics. I mean, it's... Give me an idea. You need to make a Bald and Bonkers trailer using that.
If I could get access to it, I totally would, just to see what kind of chaos I could create. I don't know. That just fucking blows my mind, man.
It's... What's that? Papa Joe's Adventures. War of the Worlds is nothing compared to what they could pull off today.
Right.
So that's... Have you seen... Right, we've talked about this before. There's a Project Bluebeam. But have you seen what they can do now? What they can project into the clouds?
What they can project in the space around you alone.
And I mean, if you really think about it, it wouldn't be that hard to fake an alien invasion, if you really thought about it. Because all you would need to do, everybody's tuned into their phones now, and you obviously get the new... Have you seen the new Apple glasses that people are wearing?
Yeah.
They look like the fighter jet pilots. But it's scary because everybody's looked into their phones. So if you to put out, say, oh, London's getting attacked by aliens, right? You could put some Project Bluebeam stuff out, maybe get some real airplanes to drop some weapons you don't know, and then just put it all out our social media. People will be, oh, it's the War of the Worlds, it's War of the Worlds, they're coming to get us. But you know they went to do that. What's that Son of the Naked Bigfoot was? Pete. You got to love Peter. He's just like his dad.
Bald and Bonkers does not refer just because our... Oh, God, I can't even talk right now. God.
What's wrong? You need a couple of hours with Pete learning you how to speak.
I'm jumping around so many different accents. It's fucking up my voice. There we go.
Okay, the new. Jenny gets me to kid with that all the time. Jenny will be watching that.
Start that shit.
Oh, hey, the new. I'll tell you this, the new. I mean, I don't know what it is with Americans, but a lot of your fellow man seems to think that us Scottish people do that, and we sound like that all the time.
Yeah, you could probably blame Mike Myers for that.
I the new. I'm sitting here doing a podcast, you know. Come on. I'm allowed to. It's my birthday back for a while. So anyway, you know. But the technology is getting ridiculous. I mean, at least I'm safe to know because it can't copy my voice. It can't.
I know. I've been tempted to run your voice through the cloning programs again to see if it's any more accurate.
But I'd do an American probably, all right. But then you get like the Boston accent. I wonder if it could handle a Boston accent.
Boston, yeah. No, I know. It's like you were talking about with Jenny and Lulu. Boston does have a very heavy Irish influence when it comes to their accent, and you can blame organized crime for that. But no, they trained it with Boston. You want to know what's even scarier?
Wow.
Speaking of that voice cloning,
you
seen the Valentine's Day video I put out?
Not yet. I've not. Actually, I've not.
So like the little voice that's in the trailer. That was pulled out of the little EVP. That was pulled out of EVPs, cleared up from static.
See, here's the thing, right? I want to just jump really quickly back to the AI generation thing. What's going to happen to the actors? They're going to start worrying because...
Why do you think there was that actor strike, man? They were already bugging out because there were companies doing that.
What's that? That's Pete put up. You mean that Scottish people don't drink
haggis and beet
frogs? Hey, the new there, Pete. Hey, wait, have their haggis, you know. Haggis is actually really good. Haggis is lovely.
Why was that big writer strike not too long ago because all these writers and these actors, they realized how fast this AI is going. They're going to be out of a job.
Of course,
And companies were already using AI, so that way they didn't have to pay as much.
But here's actually something I actually was talking last night with like Jenny. I think it was before the live started. I can't remember. My memory's bad. You can give me a row after, Jenny. Where does it? How do you tell the difference? Well, like somebody's voice, like say for instance, somebody uses that AI to like clone somebody's voice, saying, "Oh, I murdered the guy at 10 o'clock on such and such date," right? And then that gets handed into the police with somebody's been killed and they'll go to him and arrest him. How do you tell the difference?
I know, because some of the higher end, more accurate programs,
I've seen them.
They're pretty good. I mean, hell, we've played it around with it on the show plenty of times, but they can actually mimic people's, how there any quirks they have in their voice. If they go to like, if they stutter a lot, the AI will actually replicate that.
But that is going to come up. I mean, you look at that video of the AI generation. Eventually, they're going to bring out an AI voice that's going to be Okay, I mean, you'll not be able to recognize any faults with it because it's learning all the time. That's AI in it. It's learning.
Yep. It is getting kind of crazy.
There's Son of the Naked Bigfoot, AI generated voices and people that don't have souls, no aura of their life. See, exactly.
But that's the thing. People think they see that stuff, but most of them usually can't tell.
I was just getting told somebody that I can't remember what the guy was doing, but he phoned up seemingly call centers have started using the AI voice. It's AI. And they had a conversation with this woman. I think it was a computer, trying to fix a computer or something. And he said to her, it sounded normal and said goodbye and have a nice night and all that. And she just sounded normal.
No, there's actually, I've been getting ads for like a customer service based AI. Basically, say like those new Apple Vision Pros. That's actually one of the ads that they have for it.
Yeah.
Basically, the customer put in his information, but didn't buy all the way. The AI would call up saying, "Hey, my name is Jake. I noticed that you were looking into some of our AI program, the Apple Vision Pros. Can I ask you why you didn't go through the purchase?" And the guy was just like, "No, I don't want to talk about it." This AI actually talked him into a financing option to buy the Apple, and it sounded just like a perfectly clear, normal customer service conversation.
See, I mean, you think about it, these scammers out there could use this, so you could utilize this, right? When a lot of these scammers phone you, 90% of them are Indian or Pakistani, right? And you can tell them off straight away because they're, "Hello, sir, this is very much but you on the inland revenue, £10 billion," stupid things like that, right? Because that's what they're like, and you can tell them off a mile away, right? When you hear them for the first time. But what if they utilize this, where it sounds like an employee for Microsoft with an American accent?
Well,
it's scary to think because it's not just this, man. The world is changing so fast. As it's changing.
Here's the thing, too. They already have stuff out there. You can get it for like gaming switchboards where it'll change your voice to something completely entirely, not just like a little chipmunk effect and stuff like that. You can tune it to where you can sound like Obama. Fucking
I've heard that.
It's already out there. It's already
I've seen
out
there. I know people that game in Call of Duty and stuff like that, and they're using it to kid on their like Obama or their Donald Trump on like the Xbox in the party, talking to people.
Yeah, I've seen unfortunately, there's too many stupid people that fall for it, thinking it's actually Obama they're gaming with.
I know, but it's not just that. I mean, it's also the chip implants in your brain that we were talking about the last time. I mean, yeah, it could be a help. It can help people that are paralyzed, right? Or maybe people with schizophrenia. I don't know if it could help there, but it could help people with like epilepsy and stuff like that, right? But then again, that could be recording everything that could know everything about you. In theory, it could copy you. It loads you up into an artificial world.
That's part of it. It's supposed to monitor. Well, by monitoring all your vitals, all your brain activity, all of that, it has to monitor you. Then there's likely going to be an AI, without a doubt, that's going to use that to constantly train itself to better spot things. To where you could be like 20 seconds away from an epileptic seizure, the AI implants could easily pick up that it's coming up.
Yeah. It's quite interesting what Dot says. AI is a tool like a hammer can break bone or build a house. What's that intent behind the tool? Must be responsible. It's like guns, right? It's like gun. What the hell? You played a tune there. I've got me now or something like that. But anyway,
we got a subscriber on one of the Twitch channels.
Thank you very much. Here's the thing, right? Who was I talking there? What was I talking about there? Oh my god, I've went mad. We're talking about, what was I
guns?
Just say guns, right? Guns, as the song goes, guns don't kill people. People do. You think about it, right? If you're a responsible person with a gun, right, that gun's not going to kill anybody because you take somebody to pick it up and pull the trigger. There will be people out there saying, oh, right, but the gun could fall on its side and they could shoot somebody. You know what I mean? I don't think guns can go for that. Unless they're like, I don't know, I'm not an expert about guns, maybe you're, Dakota. Can a gun sitting in a corner of a room kill somebody if you don't touch it?
Depends if it has an AI attached to it.
That's the thing.
Because there's a lot of smart guns coming out that can do that now.
See, I've heard about this. I heard about they're bringing out ones for law enforcement officers, and it only works with them. Is it a fingerprint generation thing or something that's on it only works for them?
It's supposed to register to their fingerprints. You can actually, people can actually get civilian-based ones too.
I mean,
in fact, there's actually this guy. Now that I think about it, obviously there's plenty of people at home who have the smarts to be able to put this stuff together, or at least read up online on how to do it. There's this guy who set up his own automatic turret using an AI and a BB gun.
Right. And
it's like it works with like it's his Alexa, his Amazon, his Ring cameras to read up on when somebody who's not supposed to be at the house is there and start shooting them.
See, this is where you get into the military side of stuff. I mean, you've got the seemingly they want to build autonomous electric tanks, which is a bad idea. Which is a really bad idea. One, electric, come on, seriously. It gets 40 miles before it needs to be charged up again. Come on, the Abrams tank can be fueled with diesel or petrol and it can go for hundreds of miles. But no, let's make it electric. Make things. So who's going to get charged for it? Do you know how they're going to charge it? And this is the farcical thing about electric tanks. A truck's going to pull a generator to charge them.
Yeah. Here's the thing. There was a major winter storm towards the middle of the U.S. not too long ago. And people couldn't help but find it funny that the Tesla charging ports looked like a car graveyard because the charging stations couldn't carry a charge.
Yeah.
Basically, the cars were draining faster than the chargers can work. And everybody's getting mad at Tesla. It's just like, here's the thing. Here's what I was going to go for. With those electric tanks,
yeah.
If we're going to keep pushing for a war against Russia, Russia tends to get kind of cold.
Yeah. So your 40 miles turns into 5.
That's all I'm saying.
Look, it's not just the electric tanks, it's AI powered, right? These tanks will go and it'll look for somebody hacks that, or what happens if there's an AI that looks after all the tanks, decides, something, I'm not looking after these humans anyway, I'm just going to kill them all. I mean, how do you stop the AI from becoming aware? And then once it becomes aware, what do you do with it? Something like that.
Like we talked about, I think it was Linda Moulton Howe that brought this to attention. They try to say that it wasn't a legit situation, but they say a robotics company out of Japan had an incident where some of its AI started to go rogue and kill people.
Yeah.
They managed to take out at least 2 of the robots. A third managed to seclude itself, and when they finally got to it, managed to shut it down. They started looking at all of its data logs. They found out that it was linking up with satellites on how to make its system stronger.
See, that's going into like Terminator territory. I know. That's going into like Judgment Day kind of stuff. I mean, that's where does it end? I mean, here in the UK, I don't know if you've heard, but for people that's in the UK, see how you go to the doctors, you see the doctor, you get your prescription or whatever. They're wanting to set up an AI, and what they're going to do is feed all your information into that AI. So you just contact it, and you'll be able to tell. It'll be able to tell you what's wrong with you. I mean, how stupid can you get? I mean, it's not just that. It's ridiculous, getting everything's ran by computers. I mean, there's a shop in my village. The internet was down the other day, and it didn't accept contactless. Nobody could act unless you had cash, and they couldn't give change back because they couldn't get into the thing because it was all computer controlled. And it's the same with cars today. It's like that Netflix series. That series was one episode there, but if you take the internet down, that can cause massive problems. What's this news? I've not had a chance to get in it, but what's this news with Russia? Something today with Russia or whatever today with the satellites? They're talking about space wars. There was a thing.
The Russians have been talking about putting satellites with tungsten rods, and hence they're called rods from God, even though the U.S. already has these types of satellites up. Basically, say they wanted to target a certain city, they could just release these rods, and it would be within, I believe, the accuracy would be within 50 yards of where it was intended to hit. And there are no warheads, nothing like that. It would just be pure kinetic energy dropping these things from space. It would cause devastation equivalent to a nuclear blast.
Well, here's an interesting fact, right? Do you know that an EMP event over North America would cause more death than a nuclear event?
Oh, yeah.
They reckon within 6 months after an EMP event, 90% of the population of the United States would be dead. Yeah. And people are like, oh, well, why is that? Well, you think about it, everything's controlled by the internet,
Well, it's interesting you should actually point that out, considering there's a lot of people who are convinced that we had an EMP attack here in the U.S. on Thursday.
Really?
Just because cell phone service went out for just about every major carrier. In some spots, certain carriers were fine. I don't know. I must have been asleep by the time this one happened, but everybody was saying, "Oh my God, it's an EMP! It's Russian hackers!" Blah, 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 blah. There's some even trying to say it was aliens taking down communications to get ready for an attack. And even people on Twitter were like, "It's the blackout! It's the blackout! Get ready! Get ready! Get ready!" And it's just like nothing happened.
People, you get the people out there like, oh, even if that happens to the United States, Canada, and Britain and all its allies will come to your aid. No, they'll know. And I'll tell you why we'll know. Because we'll be feared in case it happens to us. And China or Russia would just sit back and let it happen. And see, once your country fell apart, then they would come in. And it'd be too late. It would be too late.
Putin himself is that there's no better propaganda machine than the United States military.
Did you see what happened the other day with the British Never.
What's that?
We thought, oh, let's test some of our trident nuclear submarines missiles. The first one made it up 2 feet and then fell over. And then the next one went up and then went out of control and splashed into the water.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm. And now Putin's looking at it thinking, oh, their nuclear arsenal's basically shit. Because it is. It's...
Putin's not a dumb guy, though. He knows that he doesn't necessarily have to cause any provocation. The U.S. alone will just try to find some reason to step in.
I can tell you something now. Putin's not going to launch a nuclear attack. I can tell you that right now. But I'm going to say this. I'm betting that whoever's trying to cause all these wars and stuff, maybe fake one, to cause problems.
No.
Let's face it. I mean, we talk back to the AI. Oh, you go, man?
No, I was just going to say, there's a lot of intelligence operatives that are saying that World War III is not going to be fought with guns and bombs. It's going to be fought with guns and bombs in someone else's backyard, but being financed by everybody else in the world. And look at exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah. Look, we all know that... How can I say this? The world, right, internet, they take that down. Everything just goes to shit. Everything. Can you imagine all the teenagers? I can't go on TikTok. I can't go to Facebook. Or the women ramaging, running, screaming wildly, burning pitchforks because they can't go onto Facebook to post their picture of their dinner they've just ate.
I know. It's just I tease my cousin about this all the time. She's 17. God, now for a long period of time, she had her phone taken away from her. We gave her phone back. She was literally sitting there shaking like she was having withdrawal symptoms as she was going through her phone, checking all the messages she missed and all this and that. There's a other different messed up situation behind that. But with that Thursday morning, the number of grown-ass adults that were bitching because TikTok wasn't working or this wasn't working or that wasn't working. Dear Lord, and all these people think they're all big and bad and think that if something were to happen, they'd be perfectly fine.
I mean, would it be a bad thing if TikTok was put out of business? Would it be a bad thing if some of these sites was took down just for a wee while? I mean, let's face it. I mean, TikTok, Jesus and all it's holy. I've seen some crazy shit on there. And Pete in the chat and everybody else in the chat, you've all seen some crazy shit on TikTok. And they get the conspiracy theories in there. So, there's got to be nuclear war. There's got to be nuclear war. I've been saying it for the last 5 years. There's got to be nuclear war. Buy my book today and it'll stop you from getting killed in a nuclear war. I mean, seriously. But this is the generation we're in now. I mean, God, I'm going to say this right now. God help us if we do go to war. Because the generation that we're in, they're not going to last long. They aren't going to last long.
People are more threatened by their feelings being hurt than actually being killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simple as that. People are more afraid of having their feelings hurt. And it's a good point that you're bringing up social media too, because there's been several hearings right now going on here in the U.S. regarding social media and cyberbullying and all that. Here's the thing. All these websites have the means to stop this. But here's the thing. TikTok, they found that if you set up a profile that aims you to be around the age of a 13-year-old boy, you'll see more videos about suicide, death, destruction, gun violence, stuff like that. All these websites had the power to do it, but then they're like, why doesn't anybody stop them? Well, they do try to do something to step it up in order to stop these things. People are going to start screaming about their First Amendment rights being fucked with.
Yeah.
Where do you... It's like if you... This is one of those things where we got to look at things from all sides, but, unexplained, i.e. says nothing positive ever came from TikTok. That depends on who's actually using it. All these sites are just tools that people are fucking misusing, and we're saying, oh, we should take it away. like it's a toddler that's breaking things, taking away their toy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe eventually the toddler will get the message, but these are grown-ass adults saying, don't treat me like a fucking kid.
Yeah. I've noticed my phone obviously listens to me all the time. I was talking with somebody the other day. Their tractor was getting something into their tractor, right? They was getting something into their tractor, and I was like, oh, what was it needing? No, it's needing the fuel filter change. We were talking about tractors, and it's something that I never ever searched right for. You can the next day I woke up and there was advert after advert after advert for tractor repair services. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? It listens to you. It's scary, actually, to think how my phone right now is listening to me.
Yeah. I mean, hell, with my niece, just about to be turned 3 months here. The number of fucking baby videos that's been popping up. I was like, oh, you should do this if you got a fussy baby and all that. And I'm just like, part of me is just sitting there like, I'm writing all this down because I know her mother can be kind of an idiot sometimes, but why is her mother not getting this? I mean, it's helpful, but send it to the people that need that information. Then people wouldn't be complaining as much.
What I've noticed? I've got a TikTok account with like 5,000 subscribers, which I used to post UFO videos, but I don't do it anymore really because I just use it for watching shit on TikTok, right? Do you know every time I get a new subscriber, TikTok takes it away?
Yeah.
And do you know what they started doing now? Do you know what they started doing now? And I just can't fathom it. I went in to see who I was subscribed to, right? And it was like 20 folk. See now? 0. So I'll go in and I'll subscribe to Emerald Isles, Paranormal, Bald and Bonkers. I'll go to all the ones, subscribe back. See, the next day, I'm unsubscribed for them all.
Who reported you?
Eh?
That would be a question I would want to ask, knowing how these algorithms actually work. Who reported you? Because I noticed it's just a pattern I noticed that with a lot of these programs, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all of them, I've noticed it's very similar patterns. If there's been accounts who have had a history of causing a little bit of controversy and people getting offended, that's when that type of stuff starts happening.
I posted a UFO video that got nearly 500,000 views. And I'm shitting you not, guys. I've got a ridiculous amount of views on that TikTok account because of the videos that I post. I'm looking up the news so I can show you, but it's absolutely mad. It really is. Look at that. I had 36 following last night, and now I've only got 10. It's happened again, and I'm back down to 4,000 subscribers. Isn't that interesting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's the biggest view count I've got. I think it's the one with the UFO near the sun. You know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it here. It's got like something. It's got 234,000 views. I mean, I'll show you really quickly, but it's got like that. I don't know if you can hold it there. Those are the views it's got. But it's ridiculous. I mean, is it because I'm posting UFO stuff? Is it because I've stopped? Or is it because I've started commenting on certain subjects? Because that's what it is.
Well,
the subjects out there.
Some of your remarks that you've made against certain people on there, and I agree with them. Calling out like the flat earthers and shit, that probably would have caused it.
If you're wondering what my TikTok is, it's called We Are Light. It's We Are Light, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're trying to help push the movie that got shelved.
Aye, it's my TikTok account is We Are Light 2022.
Lawrence actually asks a very valid question, though. Because here's the thing. Is it the algorithm that's doing that? Or is it the actual interest of the people?
I think it's whatever AI is running.
Because
that
it's not that hard to trick people into liking stuff. It's
I know.
one of the oldest tricks in the book. If you want to fudge up numbers a bit, is say like someone just puts out a book, probably a horrible example following that we just talked about Elena's new book, but it's just the first thing that comes to mind. Say someone puts out a new book, and if they want to fudge the numbers on, say, like Amazon, just the biggest platform out there, all they would have to do is just shell out a few $100 for a few hundred copies of their book. And that would gauge the algorithm to start pushing that.
Thank you, Rev, for following me on that. I might post another video. I don't know. We'll see. I know the algorithm is crazy. It's all YouTube's run by the AI. Bloody Facebook. I mean, I get annoyed with Facebook. Facebook's terrible, man.
Facebook has the AI too. Don't let it fool you.
I mean, I just don't know what's going to happen because society uses like social media now. Right. Long ago, kids actually played outside. See, now I hardly see any kids playing outside whatsoever.
Well, we have these helicopter parents that are saying, "Oh, they want them inside at all times because there's all these scary people out there." And yeah, there's some scary situations.
Do you know, I find that very interesting in the chat. Dots. Danny Henderson takes a lot of shit from YouTube if you point it. Do you know I had to let?
And how much of a loudmouth is she?
Do you know I had to let Dakota speak there?
No, I'm just gonna say. And how much of a loudmouth is she? Nothing but love him.
But what I found interesting was that YouTube there, when they let Dots put that comment, unless I hit show.
Really?
Yeah, because she mentioned Danny Henderson.
That means she's on a blacklist.
That means she's on the blacklist.
She's on
because I actually had to click on it and put it up. That's why I've got YouTube open here right now.
That is interesting.
It's look, as I say with the AI generated videos and stuff, let's take the war in Europe now, right? What happens if the propaganda networks, George Orwell kind of material, fakes all the stuff? Oh, we're biting back the Russians. We're in Moscow fighting. Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know you got situations like, everybody's saying, oh, the Sandy Hook massacre didn't actually happen because the kids are still alive and well. Well, first off, there's a thing called doppelgangers, and that shooting did actually happen. I have heard people that are, and then they say there's crisis actors. Yeah, there is such a thing as crisis actors. The Department of Defense actually hires people on to act like they would be civilians in a major disaster for training purposes. There's actual job applications out there on government websites for that. It is a legitimate thing. But I find it funny that they're trying to point out that there's always seemingly one woman there who seems overly dramatic. It's always same description from an obscure angle, brown hair, brown eyes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that fit that description.
Yeah. I remember that terrible flu that went about. I'm tapping my arm here. We're talking about, the jiggy jaggy or whatever it's called. I remember seeing a clip and it was, this is the London hospital. Then it went to like a Scottish hospital, but it was the same hospital room with the same stuff in the flare in the same place. And then we went, we're jumping over to Germany. And then it was exactly the same room, exactly the same stuff.
Exactly. These news agencies are even more terrible. You can't tell whether it's pure negligence that they're not actually researching the fucking clips that they're putting out. I mean, look at the number of times where, say, like that xenomorph video I showed from that showed Blockbuster on TikTok. How many news agencies put that out there?
Yeah.
Or like the surgeon's photo of Loch Ness that looks suspiciously like a whale trunk.
Yeah. Look.
A whale trunk and Elvis.
It's going to get worse.
You know what I mean?
I'm looking forward to the day that we day alive, and it's no you and me, and it's actually AI generated. Oh, come on. I am called Christopher,
In
and I am
theory,
sitting here right now.
it's already.
Let's talk about ghosts.
In theory, it's already out there. If I paid the money for it.
There you go. There you
I
go.
mean, hell,
How much does it cost?
I don't know. There's a number of different programs you had to put it together for, but hell, just with Streamlabs, we already have AI that would help translate it for us. In theory.
See, that's interesting. But Ref says, Melissa, she says, Zuckerberg is all, dude, what's that? Does not look human to me. He has been body snatched. Why is he building a bunker in Hawaii?
Why are
they all doing it?
Why are there several that are trying to build bunkers in those isolated locations?
Yeah. I seen an interesting video the other day talking about Hawaii with the fires and stuff. It was in Venezuela, right? And in Venezuela, they've decided to paint all kind of how they live in kind of shanty towns.
Right.
They've painted all the roofs blue.
Well, Venezuela does have a lot of the cartels down in that area do have a lot of ties with the CIA as far as the drug trade.
Yeah. You know, but I don't know, guys, what's going to happen, but the crazy world we live in, you know. So what's the show tomorrow night? You doing a show tomorrow night, Dakota?
I was about to say, you going to join me tomorrow night, or are you still taking tomorrow off?
I'll come on tomorrow night. I'll be on tomorrow night with you.
Well,
yeah.
All right. Well, that being the case.
What's that? Has anyone noticed how young Oprah looks these days? Body snatched, yeah.
Body snatched, no. Oprah likes to use a moisturizer made from human foreskin, Melissa. That's all I'm saying. One. And two, there's a particular step somewhat away from supernatural tomorrow and kind of go with the theme of what I wanted to do this weekend and why people really need to push due diligence and not trust everything that gets fed into them. There's one particular case where, Elisa Lamb was a 20-year-old college student who was found dead in a water tank at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles.
That was very interesting. Yeah.
Now, I figure we go talking into that because there's still a lot of people who are convinced that, she was a biological weapon meant to wipe out the drug population on Skid Row. And first off, all they have to do is just put in some bad fentanyl to do that. One. But, I mean, all the theories that came out about that, they're saying that even that fucking Aleister Crowley had something to do with it.
Look, I'm going to say this as mysterious how she got into that tank with it being locked. But I think somebody put her in there. She could have been possessed. Zach Bagans says, there's footage there. They're walking off the elevator. Like,
she was also diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Yeah. But how did she get into the tank and then look at
it? Well, here's the thing. Sometimes maintenance crews do put chemicals in those waters just to try to help keep it clean, keep algae from building up, right? Who's to say that from the morning before she got up there to the morning after, there wasn't a maintenance guy who thought, oh shit, I left that open.
But when they found her, it was locked.
It would be also pretty damn heavy for a little young thing like her to do it, unless she was off her rocker about something.
But here's the question: how did she? And this is for tomorrow night, obviously. How did she end up in there and then lock it? There'd be no way she could shut that and then lock it for the outside, unless someone did it
from the outside. Again, who's to say it's a maintenance guy who thought, "Oh shit, I didn't lock that up," and didn't bother to check to make sure there wasn't somebody down there.
What's that? Son of the Naked Bigfoot. Sorry, he disappeared. He was on this phone with the police.
That's a concerning segue.
I hope there's been nobody trespassing, Pete.
Again. Maybe Pete needs some of those AI turrets on his property.
Pete needs some mines or sort of they're called, you know. maybe Bigfoot's a backpacker or something, you don't know. You know. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming tonight. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Would you like to say anything before?
Yeah.
Go on.
No, I'll just say, it's good to have you back in the saddle, Chris. We'll try to, help keep things lighthearted. You know, it's going to be kind of hard to do tomorrow, but fuck it. Bodies found on our Wise County. Oh shit!
What have you been doing, Pete?
Oh, we should probably not. We probably need to cut off the stream right now before we get called in to testify. Much love. Stay safe, y'all. See you tomorrow.
Talk to you in Twitter, Pete.
As we'll go crazy and hairless, dealing with a topic that would most likely stir up some controversy.
Yes. It's an interesting case what we're about to talk about tonight, you know. But I would like to say to everybody in the room, welcome everybody. Who have we all got here? Amanda, we've got
Dot. He says he's going to be lurking. Says he's watching Elena's webinar, but as usual, something weird always happens when Elena gets into the good shit.
See, that's actually true. Lawns, welcome, Lawns, tonight to the show. That wasn't meant to be on the night because I was taking a wee while off, but I'm here tonight. You know, very tired though. I'm very tired after my investigation stuff.
We're proud of you.
We've got Galactic Stardust. That's actually quite a cool name, that, isn't it? Galactic Stardust.
Sounds like
Has space got dust in it? Has space got like dust in it? It's got like fine particles in it.
Yeah.
But it's also good.
I was about to say, sounds kind of like a stripper name, but.
Welcome, Galactic Star. How did you get what strippers are called? Dakota's mum, if you're watching this, he knows what strippers are called.
Yeah, because a lot of them come up here to take pole dancing lessons and they go earn money.
Do you learn them
in the summer?
Would you show them how to do the pole dance? Do you show them how to do the
I've actually wanted to try, to be honest.
You better watch. Pete will be in the new. Pete will be in a minute talking about pole dancers. I guarantee it. He'll appear from anywhere because we're talking about pole dancers. Hey, Louise.
Oh, I figured as I'm talking about pole dancing, Louise comes in.
Can I honestly say, could you get a strong enough pole for you to pole dance on? Anybody reinforced concrete, you know? What's your moves?
Strong, man.
But I've just had a vision in my head there.
If you actually secure those things right, they're pretty sturdy.
How do you ken this? How does he know this, ladies and gentlemen? How does he know how
people who installed pole dances in their bedroom didn't install it right, and they ended up
that's what it is. That's what it is people that have installed it and he's been watching videos. He's not actually been in a strip bar or anything like that. I mean, would he go to a strip bar?
That shit illegal here in Idaho.
Really?
I thought it was legal. You want to hear something funny? I thought was hilarious.
Nah.
I know you'll like this one. All right, edibles, right?
Like marijuana. Edibles. Oh yeah, I've loved marijuana.
Cheech and Chong, they have their own edibles company, right?
I did not know that.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong. Idaho is the only state they cannot ship to.
Really? Well, you're looking at one of the you're like a Quaker kind of of a religious state.
Apparently, I thought it's like they even included in their answers. We now can ship to 49 states. Not you, Idaho.
See, that's you're missing that. But so have you been going to like illegal pole dancing clubs that you need a secret password?
Well, that's what's weird. They can host the classes. They can do the classes here, but a lot of the girls, they'll go down south in the Jackpot in Nevada and basically earn their living throughout the entire year over the summer.
You can tell Dakota goes over the border quite a lot.
It's only like a 45-minute drive for me.
Then it's only a 45-minute drive for him. See, toodling along in his car. It looks like he's doing something else when he's going along the road,
I know someone who's, I think it's like their sister-in-law is a madam down there.
Is that not the same as like a pimp? Is that not the same kind of idea? Is that the same kind of like the big purple coat and the top part and the cane and all that?
Medical insurance in Nevada, so
do they?
They do.
Well, there you go, Dakota. If you're ever looking for work and you want to make some money on the side, you could become a hooker.
God.
I mean, there's some desperate people out there. You can you can swing your handbag at the old truck stop. You never know. There's some crazy people out there. Hey, Jenny, Emerald Air's Paranormal's in the room. Hey, Jenny, you're missing it here. He's talking about how he goes to strip clubs and watches them pole dance and all that.
Yeah, hey, I've been invited to haunted strip clubs before. But that's a story for another time.
That is a story for another time, as Mike would say. It's a story for another time. So let's go into the subject tonight before we go doing the mad rabbit hole of strip clubs and.
I know this is probably that was a horrible way to do somewhat of a true crime episode.
Nice segue. I think we need to go down to the Cecil Hotel. Tell us all about it.
Cecil Hotel. All right. So anybody who knows the case of Elisa Lam knows the name Cecil Hotel. It is a institution down in Los Angeles, located near Skid Row. Subject to a very controversial death investigation back in 2013 involving college student Elisa Lam. Now, honestly, Chris, what are your thoughts on that? Because people I've seen the
mad program. I've seen the mad program that Zachy Boy put out, Zach Bagans put out, right? I've seen other ghost hunting teams that have been there. I'm not saying the place isn't haunted. What did that say? There was over 2,000 deaths there, 1,000 deaths there.
A little over 1,000 deaths, yeah.
Right. I'm not saying that it's not haunted. Yeah, it's probably haunted with all the poor souls that are trapped there. I'm going to say this. I've seen the video of the young lady in question, and she looks like she's panicking, and she thinks that somebody's following her. But let me get this straight. Zach Bagans, when he goes to Ventures, he put that out there as if to say she was getting chased by something, right? What a lot of people don't realise, which you told me, she was bipolar, and she used to hallucinate. So what happens if she was hallucinating?
When you actually watch the footage, you see a little bit where she seems like she's calm. She's not trying to draw a lot of attention to herself. Then all of a sudden, she realizes, wait a sec, this thing's not wanting to fucking work. That's when the panic starts setting in. It's clear that something spooked her. You don't know exactly what. You don't really see much.
Yeah. I agree with Jenny there. I agree with Jenny. There was nothing paranormal. Yep.
I was just about to get to that. But again, people need to remember, I know there's a lot of stigma around it, especially when it comes to bipolar disorder. But she was legitimately diagnosed and had a history of having to be hospitalized because she made a habit of not taking her meds or under medicating herself. With those things, these mental patients, I would not want to go through the type of experimentation in order to find the right mix of drugs some of these people had to go through.
The only thing I find suspicious about it, right, and this is what I find suspicious about, is she was drowned in the tank, the freshwater tank, right? Now, how she got there is an interesting mystery because the police say it was locked, but other people say it was open. So either the police are covering up something that's happened, or what's your opinion there? She committed suicide.
This is one of those things where it gets tricky because hotel worker goes to find her. He's going from saying that, oh, it was shut, oh, it was open. First off, you got to remember, yes, there's a pretty messed up history with that area in general. There's one of the largest drug networks in North America, just a couple blocks from the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah.
But still, you walk up one day expecting, oh, maybe there's a pipe bust or something. You know, you're just trying to figure out why water's not coming through the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Then you see there's a dead girl and she's been there for a while. That's going to put you in a little bit of shock. And when people get into that type of state of mind, their memory doesn't exactly register right.
Right. See, when the water wasn't working, did the worker unlock the padlock on the lock to look into the tank to see what was causing it?
Doesn't really specify that, does it?
See, that's interesting, that, because if it was locked, how in God's name did she get in there and then lock that again? Unless somebody put her in there, locked her in there, and locked it, and she just drowned. She drowned, or someone down the line is lying here. Some down the line here is lying, but being locked. Because maybe they're covering themselves, because maybe they're thinking, oh, there could be a legal case here. If we left that open and she committed suicide in a water tank that was quite big and deep.
Oh, no, there was a legal case.
We could be, well, was there a legal case? I didn't know that.
Her family tried to sue the hotel for a wrongful death suit, but the case was tossed out.
See, there's Jenny. What's that? The door was closed on the tank when they found her, but when she fell, how did she close the door? Someone had to have closed it. See, that's interesting what Jenny says there. That Emerald Isles paranormal researchers. That is very interesting. So you commit suicide, right? How big's this tank? I mean, what's it the size of this room, say, and then it goes down quite a bit and it's full of water, right? You jump in there, you can't reach up to shut that lid, right?
Exactly.
Or
even then, she wasn't a very big girl.
Or what could have happened? There could have been like employees in the building that have maybe been maintenance, and they've went up onto the roof the next day and they thought, oh, some idiots left that open, closed it and locked it and walked away. Exactly. And then that's how the mysterious events came about.
Some of the biggest events in world history, if you actually looked at the details instead of what everybody else tries to say could have happened, just someone had one minor, oops. You know, all it takes is just that one little moment. But even then, those tanks are huge. And small girl like her, even if she was a strong enough swimmer and somehow could jettison her way up there, she wouldn't have been able to move that very easily. But who said she wanted to?
That's very true. I mean, even if she changed her mind after jumping in, she would have just got eventually tired and drowned.
And even if it was an episode where some people speculated that, she's a young girl, maybe she got on access to some illicit drugs. Some of those drugs tend to make your body boil.
See, that's an interesting.
Go for a swim to cool
that's
off.
Actually really interesting. That's really interesting. You see that? Because I was thinking the same. Maybe she's taken something, right? And she was like burning up, and she thought to herself, maybe she's went on the roof, right? Maybe she's went up on the roof to do something. I don't know. Maybe to try and cool down or see the stars or whatever. And then she's seen that tank. She's seen that water tank, and who knows? The lid might have been up. It should have been locked, And she's thought to herself, I could go in for a swim. She's went in for a swim, whatever she's been taking effect, and she drowned.
It's happened plenty of times.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've heard that. I know a couple of police officers, and some of them have told me about pools, swimming pools.
Yeah,
that people have been taking something. They've went in for a swim. They've taken some weird reaction to it, and they've went getting unconscious, and they've went face down and drowned.
Yeah,
and they found them.
It happens more often than people want to admit.
No.
As far as any paranormal element, granted the history of the hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I guess technically, I will say this: technically, something could be there, flying under the radar, because the quickest way to get something nasty on your ass is to mess around with drugs.
Yeah, you've got to remember this. Urban legend is going to play a part in this. I mean, a lot of people do choose that place to commit suicide. Why, I do not know. But then it's like the haunted forest in Japan, isn't it? Maybe it's got that kind of appeal to it, and people are thinking of committing suicide. And if you are thinking about that, please, for the love of God, tell someone first, or contact someone first. And you don't have a number you can put up, actually, do you? But in the American side of stuff. But if you are thinking about suicide, don't do it. There's more to life. Trust me. There's it here. The link that will help you out.
This is a QR code I put together of international helplines. So if you are having those thoughts, for the love of God, justice, both of us have been there. Life's worth living, but you got to be able to stick it out.
Yeah.
Just scan that with your phone.
Sometimes
it'll bring you to the link.
Yeah, I can sometimes life can be diabolical and all that kind of stuff, but it's not worth taking your life out. Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
But going back to the hotel, right? I can see the allure, right? Say for instance, I'm Joe Blogs, right, and I'm really depressed. I'm going to kill myself, and I look at that hotel and I think, oh, there's been over 1,000 people died there. Maybe if I go there and kill myself, I'll become. See, this is where I don't think that Ghost Adventures helped. I don't think it helped. I think it's made it worse, because there's been deaths there since old Zaki boy's been there, right? They've obviously gave it the allure. Like, oh, maybe there's something demonic in there, or there's something supernatural in there, and people will go there because there are people that want to do things to themselves in a haunted location.
Yeah.
And I don't particularly like Zach Bagans. I think he's a bit of a faker, to be purely honest with you, with the stuff that he does. I mean? I think what he's done is actually he's made money for him and his crew, but in return he's also gave people suicidal, bringing them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's probably helped with people dying, and it's a terrible thing. I don't think they should have done a show about it. A documentary about it, yes, but without talking about the paranormal side, it would have been fine. Because that's just, it's the kind of lure.
I mean, with the whole thing, even during the investigation itself, were hundreds of phone calls coming in, people saying, "Oh, I think this happened. Oh, I think that happened." Blah 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 blah. Very rarely do these internet sleuths actually help an investigation. I mean, they were accusing people left and right. There was this one musician. I can't remember the name of it, but he was like into heavy metal, satanic imagery. He went for the whole 9 yards of it. He put out a video that was suspiciously very similar to what people knew about surrounding her death, and people all started automatically assuming he's the guy. What's up?
I was watching the show on my phone because I like to put in case there's trolls, and I was looking at everybody was talking in the chat, and then my phone went blank and it took me to the Fenderson Files Bald and Bonkers page.
Huh.
It took me there. Are we still live on the main Bald and Bonkers? That's what I'm wondering.
Should be.
It should be. That is so weird, by the way, because I could see everybody in the chat. I was watching everybody speaking, and it kicked me out of there. It kicked me out of there into another one with one person in it. The only one person there was me.
Huh.
That's odd.
Yeah, it shows we're still live on the main channel. So
yeah, we're still live. I find that interesting. As we are talking about a location where people commit suicide, and there's my dog barking. She agrees.
Right.
But look, I don't think there's anything paranormal today with that woman's death. I think the hotel itself, yeah, it's probably got that kind of allure now. It's probably got that kind of paranormal feel about it, right? It might have a lingering spirits here and there, but let's face it, there's lingering spirits everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You really think about it, they're absolutely everywhere. I mean, there's in your house, in my house, I've got spirits, you've got spirits. Yeah. I mean, I think what Zach Bagans did was very immature. It made him plenty of money. Oh, the views that he got. But he's gave that the kind of like the haunted forest kind of vibe now. And people, that'll just attract, I'll pardon the pun here, but it'll attract that flies to a ship.
I know, and unfortunately, there's several people that think they're major into the paranormal that go to locations like that, try to perform some kind of rituals, thinking that they're going to attract something, but then only causing even more issues. Because the history of that location, what a lot of people don't realize, Skid Row, I think it was back in the 1970s, where the Los Angeles city government would basically start to use that as a dumping ground for their disenfranchised. All of the homeless people, known junkies, people just coming out of prison, even foster kids that have aged out of the system, they would all just get dumped off in this area and basically quarantined off from the rest of the city. They didn't want everything else, all the pretty sights of Los Angeles, to get soiled by this. And it's something that still happens today.
Well, I actually did research this a long time ago, the Cecil Hotel, and I found that, see, during the Prohibition, the area was used by the mafia. And they say there's tunnels underneath that. I don't know, I've never been there, so I can't remember. And they would use the tunnels to ship their booze. Mm-hmm. And there would also a lot of murders there. A lot of, not just suicide, there's a lot of there was a lot of mafia killing mafia. And killing people that didn't agree with the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you go to the Hoover Dam, if you look at the Hoover Dam, then you see how it's been kind of drying up. They've been coming across these barrels. Have you seen that? They've been coming across these barrels. And inside the barrels is bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So who's to say that one of the bodies didn't come from the Cecil Hotel? It was maybe murdered there. It was maybe a gangster. You don't know. He was whacked.
I mean, here's one of the little theories that was flying around, that Elisa Lam was actually a biological weapon meant to poison that area to clear out the homeless population.
Well, I'm going to say that's just stupid, because you could have done it a lot easier than that if you're the CIA or whoever that run these things.
Exactly. Put a few rounds of bad fentanyl into the streets and wait for the bodies to drop. Oh wait, what's happening now?
That's right. I've heard about the fentanyl stuff, and like that, and how cops have actually touched it by mistake, and they've had to get, is it an EpiPen? They've got a special drug that helps them.
There's a kind of go on sidetrack here. It's still a fucked up situation, but a lot of people feel that this was a dose of karma. But did you hear about one former YouTube executive son dying of fentanyl overdose?
I heard something about that. I've got an officer back. I was walking about
related, but
I've heard something about it.
I mean, his kid was young. He was barely 18, and YouTube had a tendency to keep shutting down anybody that would talk about the fentanyl crisis.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where, again, people don't want this ugly imagery of what's actually going out to affect the mentality of all these people. Yes, there's a lot of fragile minds out there, but how else are we supposed to combat the shit that's actually going on without actually spreading what's actually the truth and not just what the people think online?
Yeah. I mean, let's face it. You got to remember there's so much fake news out there. There's so much, and I'm going to say this again, fake ghost hunting teams don't help. They don't help. Oh, we're at the Cecil Hotel. Man's name's Zach Bagans. Well, obviously, I did a diabolical impression of him. But, oh, this place is haunted by demonic entities that drowned a woman and all this. I watched some of that and I thought to myself, what a pile of utter rubbish. But there's people out there that believe in that. There's people out there that believe in him. I mean, you just need to get Mike the Naked Bigfoot to talk about the museum. You know, Mike's passion with old Zach Bagans, you know. But look, these things you need to be very careful with. And he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have said that it's like a haunted hotspot now, because people would be drawn to that, thinking, oh, I'm going to commit suicide there. Do not commit suicide, guys. Honestly, click on that link that Dakota's going to bring up in a minute. Don't waste your life, right? The people, talk to friends, family, and people run about you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fine. It's not worth it. Now, I personally think that woman committed suicide. Or, what is your best opinion? Do you think she committed suicide?
In the state that she was likely in, she may have not intentionally ended her own life.
So she maybe made a mistake and changed her mind. It's like someone that jumps out and jumps off a bridge and changes their mind halfway down.
No, well, more like we have a lot of that not too far from me. It could be that she may have realized what was happening, but it was too late. But at the same time, she had a history of not taking her meds like she needed to. And understandable. There's a lot of people going through that who don't like feeling like they have to live their life out of a bottle. And I cannot imagine what that's like. But nevertheless, when it comes to those drugs, if you don't follow the doctor's direct orders, that's going to cause further problems.
A question. What do we all know about her? What did she used to do as a job? Did she work?
She was a college student.
Right, so she was a college student. Why was she at the hotel in the first place?
She felt that if she could, basically she was just wanting to travel. Mm-hmm. If she felt that something about being able to travel by herself, go out into the world, that was going to be a point where she could prove to herself that she's more than her illness. Because she kept a blog about what was going through her head.
See, there's Jenny Emerald's paranormal researchers. It was a fair climb up the ladder, opened the tank door. She was traveling. See, I don't think there's any spooky stuff that's happened here. I think it's been some type of like weird accident. I think she's maybe thought about doing something. She's did it. She's maybe changed her mind, and it's been too late because she's maybe been taking something. You don't know.
The only spooky thing about this is the part of the human psyche that mankind has never really been able to handle. Unless they've personally dealt with the dark side of humanity. mental health, depression, psychosis.
Yeah.
People have never, ever been able to really handle that. And that's probably where a lot of urban legends throughout history originally came from.
See, I find that interesting what Louise says. See that there? I'll bring it up for you, man.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Oh, there you go. I'll let you read it.
See. Mad Lulu posts, I imagine she would have heard of the history of the hotel, and as her mental health deteriorated, it may have slightly contributed to it. Yeah, possibly, but given the history of the area, the Cecil Hotel is somewhat of a cheap hotel, too.
So, I've heard that so it's one of these kind of like hotels for like it's somewhere to go for like maybe drug use and stuff like that too.
They never really turned away that clientele, so yeah.
I mean, I suppose you could have went to some of the fancier hotels there, but some of the fancy hotels have got security cameras and they've got security walking about, and obviously the door onto the roof is locked, and all the water tanks will be locked because it's well looked after.
Yeah.
I do feel maybe there's some fault with the people who own the hotel. I think she should not have been able to get up onto that roof. That's the first thing. She should not have been able to get up onto that roof.
People are saying, oh, there's all these different gates and stuff like that, and hotel employees would have to be the ones to get on the roof. Here's the thing. Fire escape was a direct path.
Right, but here's the thing. A lot of hotels and a lot of businesses and a lot of places out there, if you open that fire escape, the security would know because they're electrified. An alarm goes off, unless, of course,
older buildings, not as much. And Cecil Hotel is fairly old.
Staff were, but Louise again, staff were aware of her unusual behaviour. See, that's interesting.
Days before interstate, she was in a shared room with other guests, but she would have sporadic behavior that she was leaving notes for the girls she was staying with, saying "Go away, go home." She wouldn't let them in unless they had a password. So they eventually moved her into a room by herself.
Yeah, see, that's leading down the lines there, like schizophrenia, that's kind of like believing that there's someone after you or something coming after you, but in actual fact, it's because she stopped taking her medication.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where schizophrenia and bipolar disorder overlap.
I've met people that are totally loopy. I've met people with the exact same things, and they're like to me, says, "Oh, look at the UFO," and you're like, "Oh, I can't. There's UFOs and stuff like that." And you're like, "I can't see them." "Oh, they're coming. The aliens are coming. They took me away last night." Maybe they did take him away through the night. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but there's people that hallucinate. I've seen people getting took away by ambulances because they're hallucinating things. What's that? Why is the chat not working for me all of a sudden? That's weird.
No, Lawrence.
Old buildings, like it would be cost too much.
Yeah,
I take it. Is that the only video? Is it that because obviously I've not really watched. I only watched a wee bit.
That is.
I mean,
that is speculated to be the last video of her alive. She did actually go to a live taping of Conan the same day, but even then, she had to be escorted off the premises because of erratic behavior. She was becoming a security risk.
This is my opinion. She's not been taking her medication. She's thought, "Oh, I'll commit suicide." She's went up onto the roof. She's seen that tank open. She's went in there, right? Something's happened. She's drowned. Someone else has been, maybe one of the maintenance staff the next day's been on the roof. You don't know. They've seen that open and they've thought to themselves, "Oh, I better shut that because I left it open the other night there." Right? I lost my job. So they've shut it, locked it, right? And then 2-3 days later, right? 2 days later, the water stopped working. So they went back up, unlocked it, opened it up again. There's been a body, they phoned the police, and then they're thinking to themselves now, "Oh, if I'd left that open, I could get into trouble for that, lose my job and stuff like that." So they stayed quiet. But that's what happened.
Or just to kind of Same thing as you said, but the pressure of having to talk police saying, "Oh yeah, it was shut. It was shut when we came up here."
Yeah, because if they had to admit that had been left open, that opens them up big time to lawsuit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's an older building. They wouldn't be able to necessarily afford necessary security protocols in order to prevent stuff like that. But in the same time, there's people want to be able to point the finger at somebody, and because a lot of people associate the fact that Elisa, she would keep little blogs online, talk about what she was going through, stuff like that. They associate having this personal connection to her because of that, and that's what fueled a lot of these internet sleuths. But at the same time, did you know that there's actually a psychological condition that's officially recognized where people feel an attachment to, say, like celebrities, and they would feel extreme distress if something were to happen to them? I can't remember the exact name of it, but again, this goes to the point. This is one of those situations where the worst in the human psyche is too much for most people to handle. They can't necessarily handle that someone would be able to be capable of that. Hell, they speculate that's where a lot of the Wendigo stories came out. Extreme survival situations where the only source of food around was a dead body that was next to you. They couldn't. They felt like they were an animal, so
it makes you wonder that people that were staying there while she was in that water tank, they were drinking that water.
There was a point where the water would start coming out black, the pressure was low, and had a funny smell. So can you imagine what those people probably would have gone home and done once they realized they were bathing in the remains of a dead woman?
Yeah, I had a shower that lasted a couple of hours. Yeah. I think it was irresponsible for Zach Bagans to do what he did. I think he should have just done it as a normal documentary, and he should have kept the paranormal and the demonic entities out of it. And now people are just going to look at that, the Cecil Hotel, and say, "Oh, I want to go and do a ghost hunt there." And see, I bet you the Cecil Hotel rents that out now to do ghost hunts. I bet they do.
There's a lot of places that take full advantage of having ghost adventures come in. There's a hotel in a town not too far from me. It actually used to be an old tuberculosis clinic.
Yeah.
And Ghost Adventures actually did an episode out there. I know this because I actually got the call to do the recreation scenes. But they realized I would not pass off as a tuberculosis patient.
I could cover you in lipstick. Jenny, have you any red lipstick? We could get that and put hunters there.
No, I'm too big. I'm too big.
Oh. We'll get a stretcher out. Put you in a de-stretchenize machine or something like that. We've got loads of like red boxes out there.
And now, ever since that episode aired, that hotel uses it to promote itself.
See, that's not a good thing. I mean, it's famous for people killing themselves and that case, and now they're making money off of basically death.
They're making money off of a very disturbed young lady.
Yeah. I mean, I can see the point if you're going to like maybe a cowboy and western kind of, what's that place, that famous bar that's meant to be haunted and upstairs? You wanted to go to it one year, but you couldn't. It's coming to me. Your mum had went there, I think.
Huh?
Oh, your mother had been there in the same area. It was last year sometimes. I can't remember the name of the place. It's a famous American saloon. I can't remember it.
She didn't go to a saloon. She went to The Shining.
Fine.
Stanley Hotel.
Stanley. Look, that's got a kind of reputation because it's past.
Oh yeah.
With that hotel that we're talking about, that's been made. That reputation's been made on false. It's false, and somebody will say, "Oh, but what happens if the other one's false too?" It's been documented that the place I just mentioned there, the Dakota just mentioned there, the Stanley Hotel, that there has been like murders and stuff there.
Yeah.
It's been documented. Whereas the Cecil Hotel, it's kind of made up. It's made up.
It's made up on junkies, mental illness, and like I said, the dark pits of humanity most people don't want to acknowledge.
Yeah. And it's sad to think that the TV industry would actually be wanting to make money.
I mean, think about how many fucking shows did some sort of episode based around this case, dude.
Oh my God. A few.
And
quite a lot.
Like you said, unfortunately, this is one of those cases where can you imagine the shit that would have come out about this if AI was as strong as it is now back then? And that's barely coming up on 11 years ago.
I bet you could put all the information of that lady in that water tank into AI, and it could probably write a book for you, a fictional book.
Oh, it could.
Somebody's probably listening to this and they think, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to write a book about the Cecil Hotel and the drowning, but I'll make it fictional. I'll just say it's fictional. And we'll get AI today about it, and half an hour later, there'll be a book ready for them.
Out of all the different programs, there was only one that actually tried to humanize Elisa, to make her try to get the whole goal behind it was to get people to not see her as some sort of weird true crime story, but actually as a real person. And that's one thing that's always kind of ticked me off about what these kinds of cases and just how wild people are willing to get. This is not just some story you see on TV. This is affecting real people. This could happen to you.
I know.
And how would you want, you find out a loved one brutally died, and it somehow becomes an international sensation. All these different people are calling in all these different theories, maybe even going as far as trying to accuse you of being the killer. And you're just like, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on myself.
Yeah, there'll be people out there trying to make money. Look, there's got to be ghost investigators out there that fake stuff. It's going to go there and say, oh, the demonic entity with the red glowing eyes and the big horns chases down the hallway. But we were the only ones that could see it. You know what I mean? And then it just plays in, and it just plays in, that just plays into the lore and just the fakeness more and more snowballs. But can you imagine her mother watching that?
Her parents watching that? Watching everything. I mean, for fuck's sake, some people were trying to say that there was some sort of ritual Aleister Crowley did that somehow got to Los Angeles and got her.
But how could that happen? Aleister Crowley was dead long before she did that.
Exactly. It's like, I mean, there's some pretty serious reports coming out that because of the shit Crowley was into, he's almost come up to like a god level being.
I know.
So now that's a whole other series by itself.
I think someone should do a documentary about the hotel, but keep the paranormal stuff out of it.
Well, Netflix actually did do one.
Did they? I'll need to watch that.
I hate that there's a delay in the chat because I don't know what people are laughing at when we.
I don't know what people are laughing at. A time vortex
pop up from Lawrence, and he's laughing at all the question marks.
You're laughing at Lawrence.
What are you laughing at?
Oh wait, somebody's shouting on me. Just give us a sec.
I don't know. We're playing. But still, this is kind of why I wanted to combine, yesterday's show. Oh, he's laughing about the Crowley shit. Yeah, they thought that her messing around with all the buttons in the elevator, if I remember correctly, that her messing around with all the buttons in the elevator as it was not working was somehow it was supposed to be some sort of ritual that would allow you to step into other realms. I've seen various different versions of
31556755859.
No,
take me to the year 1853.
No, there's like one version of it where the elevator is supposed to represent the tree of Yggdrasil, the 9 realms, Norse mythology. And that's what they thought. That's how that got started. And I'm just like, dear God, this is a dead girl, people. Come on.
Yeah, it's gone too far. It's gone too far. Any paranormal investigators that go there should be very, very careful. Just remember their mother, the father, the sister, or the brothers. I don't know if she had sisters or brothers, but will watch that. And they don't want to hear you saying, "Oh, I seen her and she came out the water tank with her glowing red eyes and chased after me." But strangely enough, it was the only paranormal investigator to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And people believe that shit. People actually believe that shit. And I mean, that takes us, that's a good sideway before we end the show, because we've still got about, what, 15, 20 minutes left. I mean, you think about the people out there that fake in the paranormal.
Yeah.
Nah. This is all tied into him. And just take Zach Bagans, for instance, by the way. And if you have any complaints, Zach Bagans, please contact Dakota here. He's the owner of Baldwin Bonkers.
Is that why you wanted me to take over the paperwork?
I had to, so as I can pass all the celebrities off. They'll know. But look at it this way. Come on. Some of the stuff, there's paranormal investigators out there that are fantastic, right? But then there's paranormal investigators out there that are utter shit and they fake everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I'm not saying everything that Zach Bagans ever did was fake. I mean, when he first started doing it, I would say he done actually quite a good job. I thought when he first started doing that, it was actually quite good. But then it came to like the Haunted Museum, then it came to like things, and it seemed to get a wee bit more ridiculous as things went on. You remember the Demon House? That's a show you should do, talking about the Demon House.
That was a legit case, though.
I know. I think something did happen there at the Demon House. I do definitely think that. But
I mean, it's a case where even the cops are saying that kid is moving up the wall.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, he walked backwards up the wall.
I'm just like, I'm sorry, if the cops are coming out saying this shit, that adds a layer of credibility.
Mm. I think you've got to remember he's doing a TV show, right? So he's got to fake some stuff. Let's face it. Look at Dave Schrader with the Holzer files.
Yeah.
It didn't go any further because it wasn't scary enough.
Exactly. And let's face it, there was a point where Ghost Adventures was getting a dip in views. And less views means less money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the network either said spice things up or you're off the air.
Yeah. See, this is what people want. They want a fright. That's what they want. They want a fright. They want scared. This is what people want. Whereas it should be proof of the afterlife. So
even then, yeah, I know there's a movie out there about it, but basically the plot line is that somebody was able to actually prove that the afterlife exists, but then all he really caused was waves upon waves of people to start committing suicide.
Yeah, I seen that.
I mean, would that be something we would want to get out?
I don't think it's a good idea to say that the afterlife is real. I can. That's why we're doing it, to prove that the afterlife is real, right? But can you imagine everybody thinking to themselves, "Oh, if I kill myself, I'll go to heaven and stuff like that, and I'll have a great life," right? I think you need to live as long as you possibly can. You need to. I'm going to tell you something. I think we're here for a reason, and I think when you commit suicide, you have to start all over again, and that's the honest truth.
You know,
you fail.
I know there's a lot of controversy coming out about him since how many times his name gets tied to Jeffrey Epstein, but Tom Hanks, I saw in this one interview where I think the question was, if there was something you could tell your younger self, what would it be? And he would say, "This too shall pass." No matter what the emotion is, whether you're the highest of high in life, so everything's going great, this will pass. You can feel miserable for whatever reason, this will pass. Life is all about being able to experience things, but in the same light, we also got to make sure we show a little bit of compassion for when that darkness comes, because the only thing that's going to save us all in the end is when we actually come together and stop picking over stupid shit. Don't look for any excuses to fake crap. None of that.
See, I think we're all here to learn, and that's my honest opinion. We're all here to learn. I mean, you guys in the chat, whoever's watching this now, this could be your 500th time here, right? And imagine this is school, right? And if you do the thing where you kill yourself, what happens if you fail and then you have to come back again? And maybe that you're stuck in that loop. Maybe you're stuck in that cycle where you commit suicide over and over and over and over again. Don't commit suicide. Live as long as you possibly can. See if you can live to your 100. There's a task for everybody that's watching this tonight. Live to your 100. And knew that this show will still be out there, so you can leave at the bottom and say, I lived to my 100. Get what I mean?
You need to be doing the same, motherfucker.
Me? Oh, I don't know. Well, he's got to play a violin at my funeral.
What? I can't play violin. What are you talking about?
So Jenny's gonna. I'm gonna get Jenny. Are you still here, Jenny? I'm gonna at my funeral. If Dakota doesn't play the violin correctly, you have to hit him with a large stick.
No, repeatedly. Probably just find a random excuse just to swing at me.
Why you, lovable Dakota? What could you have possibly done to annoy somebody?
Do you want a list?
I'm telling you, going back to the pole dance, and you should maybe think of taking that up. What do you think, guys? Do you all want to see a video of Dakota doing some pole dancing? It might have to be like rated 57. Like, you know, and
the camera's gonna have to step back in order to be able, because I'm as tall as the fucking pole.
God help us all. That's all I'm going to say. Louise is in the chat. She'll video it for you. You know.
Well, probably.
Yeah. Bagpipe was that long scat. Well, bagpipes, man.
If you have them playing violin at a funeral, they'll probably sound like fucking bagpipes.
It's bagpipes, you know. You could play the bagpipes, eh?
We'll have 100 more funerals right there, just because I made everyone bleed out their ears for how bad I was.
I don't want a depressing funeral. Because let's face it, funerals are depressing, right?
Well, I don't want voice recorders and that little box of stuff you're seeing. Record yourself sounding like being stuck in a box. Tap on something. Like it's saying, fuck, let me out! I'm not dead yet!
No, I want the song into a burning ring of fire as I get lowered into the crematorium.
Line your pockets full of popcorn and...
Look, death's got to come to us all. In 100 years from now, we'll probably all be dead. Except for Dakota here. I don't know. Depends a bit if the Medibay's come along. But we'll all be dead. I mean... We'll all be sitting in spirits, or you might be reincarnated. I don't know. There you go. You might get to come back as a pole dancer. A dwarf pole dancer.
That'd be an interesting chase and pace.
So, Dakota, do you have any shows lined up for this week, like the files that you usually do?
I haven't had a chance to sit down and start putting those shows together, man. They'll be coming soon. I noticed that the Valentine's Day one seems to be picking up some slack, so I need to get that one out to our streaming partner.
How many places do we stream to you anyway?
For the main show, in both video and audio formats, we go to about a little over 60.
That's Jesus Christ, 60 destinations.
But come April 1st, anniversary of when the company was first established, that number's going to change drastically.
To what?
Well, I put together, consider it kind of like almost a TV guide for Bald and Bonkers episodes. And the first one is going to be released on April 1st, and with our printing partner, we have the potential of hitting over 40,000 different locations when it comes to books.
40 I mean, 40,000 different locations. Jesus Christ, no, it's holy.
Bookstores, Amazon, school libraries, universities.
But you got to be like the teacher. And here we have today, Bald and Bonkers. We talk about strange things that go bump in the night.
There's already kids that have to do homework because of my Loch Ness episode.
Oh, God. I think you need to come to Scotland. I think you need to come to Scotland and we'll send you in a wee rowing boat to find Nessie.
You know what I think we should do one of these days?
What's that?
Make one of our big projects, Bald and Bonkers tour of like Ireland and Scotland.
Aye.
We film it all. We make it a whole film special. You know, we invite some friends along. You know, we just go out, explore all these different.
Yeah, Louise has got to bring her cat balls with her. Wait, I was using my cat balls today. The flashy balls.
Oh, you're playing with your balls, huh?
Aye, the spirits like to play with Louise's balls all the time. Again, the ones that flash.
Yeah, no.
That came out wrong, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I was like, oh. I couldn't. I just got my gut.
Well, look, everybody. I bought a packet of cat balls after seeing Louise and Jenny in haunted locations playing with theirs, and I thought I'm going to join them with my balls.
I've tried to get my own set of balls, but my cats took them all.
See, you shouldn't be doing things. If Jenny sees this now, it'd be cruelty to cats.
Yeah, my cats took away my balls.
I put them out today in a mausoleum, and I put them out today in a gravestone, and I never went off once. But spirits maybe didn't want to touch them. You know what I mean? Didn't want to touch them at all.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Ooh, I'm coming to you from the other side. I'd make a great ghost. I think I'd make a great ghost. What do you think?
Stop that talk right now.
I'm coming to get you all. Ghosts don't actually do that, do they? I'm not really like the movies.
Sarcastic.
What's this, Louise? I know it takes a while, Chris. See, I didn't record it today, but I said, spirits, please play with these balls, and it never happened. It never flashed once.
I dare you to do that in a brothel.
Do you know any haunted brothels?
There's a couple.
See, he knows about that date, guys. Honestly, the things that he's up to. When I go off, because the time difference, he's probably away at the strip joint, and has to drive across the border first,
No, unfortunately, not as much as I would have wanted to because of where I go to work, but.
But that's life, I might go to another location this week sometime. I might go to another graveyard, whip out the cat balls again.
Whipping out your balls for all the ghosties and the ghoulies to play touchy-wutchies.
I'm going to say this. Yeah, an EVP recorder and some balls. That's what you need to have a good time in a graveyard.
Didn't realize you were into that type of stuff, but hey, whatever floats your boat, brother. Whatever.
Oh, God. I'm looking forward to my bed. I need my bed tonight. So do you want to end the show? And we'll see you next weekend. God. And hopefully during the week in Ghost Squad Scotland, I'll be playing with my flashy balls.
Of course, you would want to be playing with your balls on camera. That's what OnlyFans is for, Chris.
Well, your account's all right,
Why are you looking?
Oh, night, guys. Have a fantastic night. Goodbye.
Much love. Stay safe. Stay somewhat sane through the week, and we'll see what happens when we catch y'all next time.